This video is for grade 7, math chapter 3.4. So the area of a parallelogram. So parallelograms are found all over the place. Sometimes you just don't notice you're looking at them though, because here and these wires all crossing form a parallelogram. It's kind of like a square that has been slanted off to the side. So we're going to find out how to find the areas of those parallelograms. So as we slide down, remove a right triangle at one end of the parallelogram, move it to the other end. What is the area of the rectangle? So as we grab and we move this over, as you can see that if you draw a line right down there, that creates another square. So if we count the area of the parallelogram, 1, 2, 3, 4, 11, 12, 13. It's 13 squares by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. By 12. Oh, this is great. 12 times 13 just off the top of my head. So we know that squares are base times height. So base, which is 13, times height, which is 12. I may have miscounted. Usually squares are squares. 1, 2, 3. Okay, squares or rectangles are still base times height. So the base times the height. So 13 times 10 is 130, times 2 times 13 is 26. So 156 will be the area. Units squared, or units squared. Okay, so that's how we know that parallelograms can follow the same formula as squares, because when we cut this off right here, it's the same as putting it right there. That's what makes a parallelogram. So the area of a parallelogram is still base times height. So the area of this parallelogram below is 4. The base is 6, the height is 4, so 4 times 6 equals 24. So the area is 24 centimeters squared. For the calculations, so to figure this out, Jessica has created a tulip garden in the shape of a parallelogram because she's had the space, or maybe she's just bad at drawing straight lines. She's going to plant 10 tulips per square meter of agar light. So every square meter, or every, meter squared, every meter squared will have 10 tulips. So how many squares that we have? We have 8 by 5. So 8 times 5 equals 40 meters squared. And we know that every meter has 10 tulips. So 40, we have 40 meters squared times 10 tulips equals 400 tulips. So the answer for it is 400 tulips. So to do this, determine the height of a parallelogram that is a base of 30. If it has a base, so here's the parallelogram. It has a base of 30. We don't know what the height is, but we know that the area equals 240. So base times height equals the area. So we know that base is 30. We don't know the height, and we know that it equals 240 right there. So if we take this and work it backwards, I'm going to do this right now because we haven't really done isolating. What times 30 equals 240, and we know that this is 8 because 8 times 3 is 24. If you wanted to do the isolation steps, which I'll show you right here, if you don't know about isolation, or don't want to know about it, or if it's going to confuse you, skip this part right here. But the opposite of times is divide. So we're going to divide this by 30, and whatever we do to the left side, we have to do to the right side. So 30 times h divided by 30 is going to equal h, because it's the same thing. 2 times 5 is 10, divided by 2 is back to 5. So 30 times 30 divided by 30, 30 times h divided by 30 is going to cancel out those two h's. So h will equal 240 divided by 30. So h equals 8. Your homework for this section is pages 105 to 107, 3, 4, 7 through 10, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 through 14, 12, 13, 14, and 17 as well. Thanks and good luck.